WEFM 94.9.
Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in no use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
All right. We are back with you, and this time we are in our Cup Chat segment right here on WEFM. Along with myself, Dianna, and Roleza in studio this morning, we have some officers and ex-officers of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force in our studios. We have Mr. Jared Lewis, who is a sergeant of police at the Stubbs Police Station.
Yes.
We have Mr. Alias Stapleton, Corporal of Police in the IT department. We have Mr. Michael Charles, who is president of the SVGX Police Association, and Mr. David Charles, who is a member of the SVGX Police Association. Officers, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
I just have to look at the all-male panel over there versus the all-female host. All right, and as usual, before we go anywhere, we give our panelists a chance to introduce themselves, say all the titles that you have. If you want to say all of those titles, you go right ahead. And if there is anything interesting about you think it would be good for us to know, you can also share that with us. And we're gonna start on the right. So we'll start with the president. Start from the top. Wow.
A pleasant good morning, and to all who are listening in the diaspora. My name is Michael Charles, a retired commissioner of police, president of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Ex-Police Association, and the Ex-Police Association is also carrying the Royal St. Vincent Legion. So I'm president of the Royal St. Vincent Legion also. Brother David, you will do your own introduction.
Go ahead.
I am David Charles, Deputy Commissioner. I used to be. I'm now retired. And I'm a member of the Ex-Police Association. We have the camaraderie between us with a number of our brothers who I hope will be listening this morning. A good morning to you, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and where you're hearing us.
Good morning. My name is Gerald Lewis, Sergeant of Police, currently in charge of the Stubbs Police Station. 23 years of policing experience, Uh, I like to cook and enjoy a nice picnic.
Boy, does he love to cook and show off that he loves to cook. But anyhow,
Good morning to all listeners of this radio station. I am Corporal of Police Ali Stapleton. I am a member of the Royal St. Vincent and Grenadines Police Force IT Department or Digital Forensics Department. It's my pleasure to be back here on Cop Chat this Thursday morning. I want to take the opportunity and to commemorate the Elderly Month by saying Happy Elderly Month to all the elderlies in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And those persons listening beyond our borders. Your wisdom, experience, and strength. We appreciate it, and we thank you for your numerous contributions over the years. What we have to say to this morning is directly targeting you, so we hope that it is received well.
All right, thank you very much. I did not mention earlier the topic that we are discussing this morning for Cop Chat is supporting our elders, safety, dignity, and empowerment. All right, and the first thing I want to ask, define elderly. Who is an elderly? So the elderly would know it's them, and the non-elderly will know it's not them.
who's an elderly?
Well, I would say in my own definition, elderly person is a person who is retired.
But we can retire at any age.
But yeah,
55.
well, it's retired.
So elderly starts at 55?
Technically, yes.
Well, right now, for the civil servant is 60.
Mm.
So say 55, 60. That's the bracket.
I honestly thought y'all were going to say 65, you know.
No, it's 60.
It's
At the
60?
moment. They're looking to push it up, but currently it's at 60 for civil servants. Police officers who haven't reached the civil servant level would be 55.
Mm.
Okay.
All right.
Interested. I'm almost there.
So elderly stars at 55. Somebody there probably listen and say,
I'm not an elderly.
How you feel? Yeah?
but yes. All right. So currently, we celebrated International Day of the Elderly on the 1st of October. I noticed that the police went out and visited the Garden of Eden, and you have other visits planned as well. So can you just tell us about some of these activities to celebrate the month, rather the entire month? I don't
know. I don't know if Mr. Charles is aware of any.
Yes, I know for a fact that as Dianna quite rightly stated, the police visited the Garden of Eden and serenaded them with the police band. Superintendent Simmons headed the charge, and this is a way of actually giving back to the folks, obviously the elderly, who were shut in. If I can delve from the ex-police association point, we at the ex-police association, it's in St. Vincent. We are about 54 strong on paper, and our experience, we in terms of experience, we have over 500 and plus years when we add the years that members served. And as the ex-police association, it is established to foster a relationship with the police officers who are retired. Sometimes in retirement you can be lonely. So at the ex-police association, there's an avenue where members can meet and reflect. We do a lot of things. We also visit senior officers who are shut in, sick. So that's what we do from time to time.
Okay. All right. So with regards to the elderly, what are some practical advice that you have for them? You mentioned there are times, Mr. Michael Charles, I have to know the whole name because we have two Charles here. Mr. Michael Charles, you mentioned that when persons advance in age, then they do become lonely. And in many instances, many of them may be living alone or are at home for extended periods of time. So from a practical standpoint, what are some of the tips that you can offer for elderly persons with regards to safety and safety at home in particular?
Well, I could say adopt a relative, maybe to keep your company, maybe not at nights, if not for the whole day. Also, your items that you have, like your television, radios, and so forth. If you can just take down the serial number, keep them in a safe place, because when you're elderly, you're rather vulnerable. There'll be people out there looking at you and watching your every move, and they will see you as a target. So you secure your valuables by safeguarding the serial numbers. If you have jewelry, maybe you can inscribe your initials on them in a conspicuous place, and also keep close to your relatives, so someone would always be around, so it won't be that lonely and that vulnerable to perpetrators who will be viewing you as a target as opposed to someone who is a member of society and need their peace and quiet.
So as it relates to what else?
No, come on.
As it relates to excuse me, can I move this bit? Yeah, as it relates to information technology, what my work is, we see we are living in a technological age. Yeah, technology is coming more embedded in our daily task, and as the sergeant said, the elderly is seen as a vulnerable group. All right, and people prey on their inability to use these devices, the reluctancy to use these devices, and for that they're exploiting them. Okay, so we are seeing a spike in what we see social hacking. Instead of this pertains to hacking the person instead of their devices. So you will tend to see persons calling them, pretending to be somebody else, just to gain access to whatever the device is, or to gain access to their bank accounts and stuff like that. We are seeing persons, I know that they're using WhatsApp and these different applications to communicate with their loved ones, and they have a tendency of clicking on everything. And when you click, you keep clicking and you give away, you're giving persons access to your mobile device and these applications. So this is a problem. There are persons also calling them to pretending to be loved ones, somebody else. You understand, close to them, and they find themselves in problems where they're giving lots of monies to persons when being defrauded in that way. So we're here to give some tips this morning on how these things can be prevented, and to ask the younger population to look out for those persons in the community.
Right. There's a point that Sergeant Lewis made with the adopt an elderly person. Now, I could probably just add here as well, even if, let's say, you're aware of an elderly person who's living by themselves, one of the things that we can do is monitor their movements,
Yes.
right? Not necessarily be in the business necessarily, but monitor. If you know that they would tend to open a door every morning, or they have lights on at night, and once you see a change of behavior, just go ahead and make an inquiry as to whether or not they're okay, because this is another way in which we can look out for them, right?
Yes.
Especially those who are living alone,
Yes.
right?
We have to take into consideration communication. And this plays a very important part in regard with the elderly is concerned. Some elderly persons are not equipped really with the modern technology that is here now, and should be supported. Well, they must have somebody to take care of them that they can relate to as much as possible.
Yeah.
And what the Ex-Police Association is trying to do is to communicate with our members as often as we possibly can. And we do have a meeting. We do have meeting once every month, every first Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Every first Saturday. And we encourage quite a lot of ex-police officers who, even not in the membership of the association, to keep in contact with us. So we keep in contact with them because we visit quite a lot of ex-police officers who cannot attend our meetings, who are home probably sick, and what the case might be. And again, I have to point out that some of the sick members, retired members, are keeping themselves too often, too selfish. They're not reaching out to other persons, other people, or to certain people that can really be in contact with them and keep them the spirit up to a certain point. Because when we have our meetings, we relate to so much thing that we experience in our past lives and try to guide others what to expect in the future. Because we know the going and the coming of certain situation here in St. Vincent.
Is it that some of them feel as though they might be forgotten, so they become I don't know, they just withdrawn?
That could be a point too. But then we reaching out to them
Yeah.
and they're keeping away from the reaching that we have
Yeah.
out to them.
Right.
We have to be persistent in that effort. We have to be persistent in that effort,
Mm-hmm.
because as we're going back to that point where they're labeled as a vulnerable. Some persons can't move, the elderly can't move, so they trust their neighbor or somebody to go and to take the bank card and deposit or take money from it. And persons tend to exploit these persons as well. You understand? So we have to be persistent in our efforts and know the police, and that's where community policing comes in, to know these persons in your community that doesn't have as much support, and to go periodically and check on them and see what they may require, what assistance they require, and making sure that their welfare is, yeah.
All right, and you touched on another point in terms of WhatsApp, well, because most persons communicate via WhatsApp,
Correct.
Yes.
and so even if you say the person is bedridden or they can't move, etc., and we talk about scamming as well, just as a suggestion as well. I'm not sure if you're going to give some tips with regards to WhatsApp
Yeah.
communication. All right, so
Yes.
go ahead, and if you're right, I will sit after. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, as I say, with WhatsApp and I want to lump Facebook inside,
Mm-hmm.
because those are apps that are mostly used by the elderly,
Right.
right? And the first thing I must note.
And
is
one thing, we need to big up the elderly who embrace technology and
Yes,
use WhatsApp.
very much so.
Big up you guys, because we know how it is sometimes. All right, big up y'all.
Yes, that's true. So people prey on your knowledge of your lack of knowledge and using these devices. And the first tip I must have I'm giving is to be skeptical of everybody until you could prove otherwise. Okay. The reason I'm saying that is that you're not actually seeing most of the persons that you're communicating with. You understand? And people prey on your trusting nature. You understand? Your ability to assist as much as you can, and to extort you. Stop clicking. You understand? Verify. Stop clicking and verify. If you know you have a nephew and your nephew custom asking you for money, even though you're asking for money, just call them directly, or ask them to come and see you to make that request before you could do certain things, because persons are preying on you. Just see how you communicate to say, all right, then come and collect this money. I'll leave it with this person. You understand? And they're looking for these things. And if you put up a resistance and saying, all right, then I'm not going to do this here. Come to my house, you know where I'm living, or call me, and then you can judge by the person's voice or whatnot. And I know AI is in, and I'm not going that far, right? It has also persons calling you directly and telling you that I'm trying to set up WhatsApp and a code came to your phone. Can you assist me with that? And in terms, persons tend to give the persons these codes. Look, nobody else have access to your device, and I know how these things set up. Flow and Digicel, the service providers in St. Vincent and Grenadines, has no ties with WhatsApp. Okay, and in some instances, Flow or Digicel, they sell your trip, and then somebody else has access to that phone number. All right. So again, we have to be extremely cognizant of that. For persons who have elderly persons, and make sure that their chips, their cards are not expired, and making sure that they actually top up, do the requirements that they need to prevent this from happening. Also, be aware of the numbers that are messaging you. Some of them don't have the 784 area code on it, and they're external. All right. Know that the banks are not going to ask you for your information on WhatsApp. You understand? They're not going to call you at 9 in the night asking you for certain information. So you just have to know the persons that you communicate with, the institutions that you communicate with, and what the institutions are commonly ask you via these platforms.
And eventually, okay, while we are on that, we also have the cloning of the
Sergeant Lewis,
WhatsApp.
just kind of shift it as delicately as possible. All right, go ahead.
While we're on the topic of WhatsApp, be mindful of people borrowing your phone and then mirroring your WhatsApp, because they can link your device and your WhatsApp will be linked to their phone. So anything you read or anything you type, they will see it via WhatsApp. So any information you send via WhatsApp, that will be available to them. So I will advise that you check your phones at intervals and check see if any device is linked. Once you see two or more devices connected, you know that somebody is monitoring your movements and you should delink it.
But you see, that goes again to knowing what you're using, knowing about the applications that you're using, and as the elderly persons, you need that support from persons that are close to you to show you how to actually check these things. You understand? I know I have elderly friends, and they will come normally and say, "Hey, can you help me do this?" You understand? They're not that inclined to get certain things done yourself. And that's why we're calling on persons that are close by, because they're close to them. Persons that are, persons that may not have family members there, the neighbors, even the police officers, to check, you understand, to make sure that these persons are not being exploited, because these things are possible.
Curious question. It's, as you said that, do police officers do welfare checks on known elderly persons within communities?
I know persons from the community, those stations, those outstations, they will know persons in the community and they will normally go and check on them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a thing.
And when we do something, we have something we call country patrols.
Yes.
We normally visit the elderly, shopping, maybe ex-police officers and so forth.
Okay.
And while we're on that, social media, Facebook, sometimes I'll be on Facebook and I'll see messages coming from persons that are known to me. And they'll be like, "Oh, I got locked out of my Facebook account. A code is going to come to your Facebook. Would you mind sending me that?" What I'll do, I'll pick up the phone and I call the person and
Verify,
say, "Hey,
yes.
I see some." Then when you do so, you find out that they have been hacked and they're just trying to hack your account also. So in an elderly who is using Facebook as company, they might see that and they want to be friendly with the person. They might oblige and send them, and just like that, your account will be gone.
These are
Any
things that
information they have will be available to the outside world.
In regard to the country patrol, with police officers visiting the elderly, etc., and all that, I don't think it is being done as often as it should be, as it used to be before. Because during my time, you had to carry the country patrol as a book we had, that you must, the NC in charge of the station will write up the book, the person that you should visit. And those days, the case they are transportation, you take you around. So you had to go on your feet, you had to walk.
Oh,
You understand me? So you go to the person, talk to them, and they'll write in the book, well, everything is okay. And if they ever complain, that they will write that complaint in the book. And then you have to investigate it to find out what is going on.
Once you have an adverse comment.
Yes, once
Yes.
there's adverse comment, you have to investigate it and get the results and take it back to your in charge of the station. But I say, I don't think it's being used, the book is being used as often as it used to be. And I'm recommending that our folks continue to be of that service to the elderly and retired persons.
I wouldn't say that it is not as frequent as it used to be. It should be more frequent, right? It should be more frequent. I think it happens as it used to, right? But it could amp up the times that the police officers
and the type of
go out
persons
there.
I'm not saying it
And
doesn't
the
happen.
type of persons they
I'm not saying it
visit.
doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It happens, but not as used to be, as often as it used to be. It's a must I'm talking about. It's a must of what is on the agenda. You had to carry out the country patrol book at least almost every day, or once per week, or what the case when you had to do that.
I just do mine twice per week.
Yes.
But I'm your stubs. So what I'm doing is targeting like persons like ex-police in the area. I normally send the book to them, or elderly or business places. But I'm new at stubs, so what I'll do, I'll try to see as much ex-police who is in the stubs area, and try to send the book to them as often, because sometimes they would need little help, and being ex-police officers, I'll try my best to help them out as much as I can.
Okay, so I'm curious. Is it mostly done for ex-police officers or just for
Just elderly.
all?
Elderly.
Yes,
all
okay,
elderly. All
okay,
elderly.
Short
all right.
committee.
It's just a
Okay.
book like to find out what is going on in the community.
Okay.
So you mostly send it to persons who you know will, not the criminals, persons who are upstanding in the community who will share information with you.
Like the justice of peace, the
Mm,
principal of a school,
okay.
Business place,
Yes, yes, yes.
anyone, who a doctor might be in the area past visiting,
Yes.
find out, how the area is generally.
Okay.
Okay. I just wanted to add to something that was being said earlier about the elderly persons asking for help. I've noticed that sometimes elderly persons would ask strangers for help.
Yes.
Like you just be walking through town and you just see
Yes.
somebody come up to you and say, "Hi, excuse me, can you help me with this thing on my phone, please?" So we need to caution them on that as well, because somebody might look friendly and smiling, but you don't know who they are, and they take your phone and you have no idea what they're doing with your phone. And as the officer just mentioned, they can mirror your phone and have access.
Yeah.
But that's
So
one of the things that they say when you're getting older, you become so much more trusting.
Mm.
And I think people become trusting because they are expecting persons to not take advantage of them.
Yes,
But,
and unfortunately,
Society has changed so much. You understand? So
Drastically.
So you have to be, as I say, you have to be skeptical. You have to be skeptical of everybody until you could prove otherwise. So I would say, all right, then, I don't know if persons would be in Kingston and they're not as mobile and they want to ask somebody around to assist in any way. You understand? And we can't stop that. We don't know. You understand? But you have to be cognizant that not everybody that is there is willing to help. You understand? And not everybody that helps wouldn't take advantage
yeah.
of you.
Yeah.
You understand?
One thing we have to note too is that most elderly, they love the independence, and in some cases
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
kind of pride.
mhm.
They have a lot of pride,
Yeah.
and they sometimes they will not call on persons. So what we do at the ex-police association, if we know of a ex-police who is sick, we get in contact, we call him and tell him, it's the ex-police association, we'd like to visit you, and so on. And in most cases that they allow us. And at this point, before I get licks, Roselle, retired station sergeant Jackson, he asked to big you up. Right, and he is. I must give a short story and Jackson. Jackson, well, he's blind. I work with him at SSU. He was my corporal, and we have a very good relationship. We made him, because he was blind, he can't attend meeting. We made him an honorary member. But soon after, we established a medical fund within the ex-police association, and this fund is to assist members to offset bills if if they had medication and so on. And we were the vice president and I, that's assistant commissioner of police, retired assistant commissioner of police, Bruce and I, we won a cab chat here and we explain about the medical fund. As soon as the meeting, the cab chat finished, Jackson called me. Said he don't want to be no honorary member. He want to be a full member and paying his dues.
Okay.
And Jackson is a paying member. He sometimes at meetings, we put our phone on speaker and
Okay.
hear what is
Okay.
happening.
Oh, lovely.
But he's a person. Just on Tuesday, the ex-police association went home for him. Take him up and took him for his checkup, and so on. We do that from time. Before the last, we took him to Buckament, and this is what we do as the ex-police association. Once you can't make it and you call on us, we do that.
I almost feel like when I get old, I want to join this association just because I need to have a link, right? I need to have those connections.
The ex-police medical fund is not really as an insurance, as like insurance will operate. But it is to assist a member in the event that he or she cannot. I said she because we have female too
Yes.
in our association. And I want to say hello to all those police female officers in the association. Yes, in case that he or she has to pay for some medical treatment or what the case might be, or there might be not enough finance to take care of the bills. So the association will investigate as usual and assess and give some consideration or some fine, some money to that individual.
Okay.
Okay. All
And
right.
the fund is being paid monthly by the officers.
Okay.
And it's just $10 a month.
All right.
So you see, for other persons who are elderly and not police officers, you see, they might want to join.
It sounds like a nice little social club.
Yeah, you know.
Well, we should think about. We will
You
think
make
about
it so
that.
enticing. You make it so enticing.
We will think about that.
Why would that? Can you take contribution from persons who are not in the association? Because I could donate by $10 a month.
No, if you want to give a donation to the medical fund, you can do it, but you won't get the benefits until.
No,
Yes.
And I know you always have your audit to fundraising and so on. I
Yes.
can't tell last Saturday.
No,
I do some fundraising.
every last Saturday,
Every last Saturday.
we the ex-police association, we have soup sale outside the barracks every
Yeah,
last.
That's why I said that, because I know about 9 months since I did a soup for you all.
No. Actually,
Oh, okay.
what happened now, Brewster do the soup sometime, and my wife also chip in at times and do the soup. And we this
Let him do the next soup. Since he wants to do it, let him do the next soup.
And we have
What availability?
we have regular customers. If we there, we start probably 9 o'clock.
9, yes.
9 o'clock,
Mm.
and by sometime before 1:30,
Yes, everything goes.
everything else.
So I hope this
Nice.
encourages different members in the community to form different groups. I know this is the
Yeah.
whole in just to the police, the ex-police, right? But different persons within the community can do certain things to help their members as well. And we are basically speaking to those persons that can do, right? To look out for those persons in the community that are elder that can't help themselves. To go around and check. You understand? Just by sitting and speaking to somebody, they'll appreciate it a whole lot. You understand? You don't have to come and give something monetary. But then just hoping that persons hear what the ex-police association is doing, they can be inspired by it. And
You know, now you said that I'm talking to the persons and like that. There's some people still with a stigma within them, and they haven't got rid of communicating or talking to you because of some past experience they must have suffered during the time that they were in the employment of another of the employment. And they hold that as a stigma within them, something that they haven't got over yet, and something very hard to communicate with them. But we have to ask people, as you get older, there's a tendency of you getting being lonely. Some people are very lonely, and you have to create within you some social activity, some communication,
Yeah.
some activity that will keep you occupied, so that you will not be frustrated for any long period. And this is very important to elderly persons.
All right.
Well, like how we have the neighborhood watch, maybe we could start something called elderly watch.
I like the song of that. I like the
And
song of
we
that.
checking on the elderly.
Yeah.
You know, start an elderly watch, and those who don't have family around them, you sing with them, make sure they feel a part of a family. So maybe we
Yes.
could reach out into the community and see if we could start some elderly watching communities.
Even
Yeah.
for
That's a
ex-police
very good
association.
suggestion. Well, let's start the ball rolling.
even the ex-police association, maybe you could, visit different persons that are not police officers.
We do that.
Yeah, we,
Okay.
yeah,
In the community, that's not
We
necessarily,
do that. We also
in your-
visit homes.
Right.
We visit the Liberty Lodge, the Center for Boys.
Okay.
Yeah, so we do a lot of community work.
Okay.
All right, so Dianna's been trying to take a break.
Yes.
For the longest time.
That's true. So we're gonna take an ad break and then we will be right back.
Do you want to feel clean or refreshed after using the bathroom, whether at home, work, or play? Welcome to My Smart Toilet Seats. All of our products wash your private parts after using the bathroom without the use of your hands. Let's hear what our national table tennis champion, Damian Dublin, has to say.
I tried it and it works. There are 4 options. Simply add an attachment to your existing toilet seat. Or choose a non-electric seat, or better, an electric seat that washes and dries you with warm water and air. Lastly, get a complete smart toilet that also flushes itself. What are you waiting for? Get your smart toilet seat today. Be smart, be refreshed, be clean, be a winner like me.
Our smart toilet seat is available throughout St. Vincent at retail outlets with the orange flags. You can call us at 457-1703 or visit our website at justwashit.vc.
Yes, sir.
Our industry relies on all of us to play our part. We take pride in showcasing our beautiful island, our craft, our cuisine, and our warm Vincentian hospitality.
Each of us play a crucial role in showcasing our vibrant tourism industry. We can create spaces where visitors can unwind, connect with nature, and embrace tranquility of our beautiful surroundings.
We need everyone on board to help us create an exceptional experience for our guests.
Join us at our National Tourism Community Consultations as we shape the future of tourism in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
It's everyone's business. Yeah. Live it, love it, embrace it.
That's the sound of your animals. Strong, healthy, and delivering yields you love. That didn't just happen. It began with you feeding them only the best. East Caribbean Feeds. Rest assured, we only produce your feeds with premium ingredients. No hormones, no animal byproducts. Just everything your animal needs for maximum nutrition. Because your animals deserve only the best. East Caribbean Feeds from Maximum Nutrition.
ECGC has slashed feed prices by 8 to 10%. Check your local supplier for more details. ECGC, providers of feed for maximum nutrition.
Looking to upgrade your home without breaking the bank? Now's the perfect time. District Stairs huge independent sale. Get up to 45% off on selected items, including luxury vinyl planks, waterproof laminate, crown molding, baseboards, and more. So whether you're transforming your floors or adding the perfect finishing touch with elegant trims, we've got you covered. Hurry on in today. These deals won't last long. Visit District Stairs in the Russell Shopping Mall at Stony Grounds and turn your home into the masterpiece it deserves to be. District Stairs, quality you can trust, prices you can afford. Call us right now, 456-7649.
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
Cop Chat. You've got questions for the police? They're here to give you the answers on WEFM 99.9.
The world has become such a cruel place. Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in no use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
And we are back with our Cop Chat right here on WEFM. This morning we had in studio with myself and Roleza, Officer Jared Lewis, who is a sergeant of police, and in charge of the Stubbs Police Station. We have Alias Stapleton, Corporal of Police in the IT department, Mr. Michael Charles, President of the SVGX Police Association, and Mr. David Charles, who is a member of the SVGX Police Association. And this morning we were discussing the topic, supporting our elders' safety, dignity, and empowerment. So we will open the lines shortly so that you can call and ask your questions and make whatever comments you may have to make, bearing in mind that the time is winding down. All right. So we are going to take some advice from each of the police officers here, advice to the elderly, continuing with the topic of, your safety, taking care of yourself, making sure that you are safe, whether in physical, in real life, or online. And we will start with Officer Stapleton.
All right. Safeguarding the elderly is not a task for the elderly alone. All right. It is for all of us to do. And when dealing with technology, it's something that is ticklish and needs persons that knows what they're doing and what to look for. So I want to leave you with these advices for persons that are elderly that are using these devices. Have a distrust for persons that you meet on these platforms until you prove otherwise. Setting boundaries. There must be things that you do not do on your phone, like transactions and stuff like that. All right. Detailing, giving money, giving away your locations. Understanding that nothing good comes easy. You're not going to win a lotto online or on a platform without playing anything. You understand? Verifying requests made. Somebody can ask you for money, pretending to be your daughter, pretending to be your nephew or somebody. Verify. Take up the phone, call them, or tell them to come to your home. All right?
And calling them is to verify it's their voice.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And their number as well. All right. And having trustworthy persons that you rely on. And I know that that's a little ticklish because you might trust somebody and they turned out and bite you in the back. But keeping your receipts. If you're accustomed to give this young lady your card to go in town to withdraw money, let her bring the receipt back to you. You can't say if she had taken out more money than you actually would ask her to do. But keep the receipt. A note on the receipt who you gave the money, the card to deduct that, and ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And that would be mine.
Okay. We're going another age.
Yes, on the topic of security, you should be able to secure yourself. Get your relative to install proper deadbolts, locks with chains so you can half open your door without giving access to anyone, so you could see, or install a peephole camera. That's a hole you can peep and see, verify who is at your door. At night, make sure, don't set no light patterns. Like if you're home, if you could use a night light so that persons won't know that you're home. Don't set a pattern. I want to say, all right, if there's lights on, they are home, and if lights is off, they are away. Don't do that. So verify your lighting pattern and keep outside light. It could be motion sensor lights. So if someone comes to your yard, your light will light up, so you know, well, all right, you have intruders. Secure your perimeter and keep a contact number at hand so you could call someone speedily. That's my 2 cents in this.
Okay. Age.
Yes, I mentioned earlier that the Ex-Police Association also carries the Royal St. Vincent Legion. I just want to mention that there are 3 widows. Their husband fought in the World War II, and they've been taken care of more or less by the Royal Commonwealth Ex-Services League in England. These widows are given a grant, and the Ex-Police Association administered this grant. There's an account at the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and there are more than one signatories to it. So no one person can go and take it out. And we have to give an account. And when I say an account, I mean it's a real account. Everything you do for the Royal St. Vincent Legion, you have to send it back to England. We have to take photograph when we hand over the cash. We have to the sign. We have to take a photograph of the register that the sign, and we also have to have bank statements from the bank and send all these back every 3 months. This is done quarterly. Yes. So the three widows. One is at and she's 95 years old. She's at Sharpsdale. Then we have one at Bridgetown. She's 80 something. And one at Park Hill. And she's 70, 79, I think, thereabout. So these three widows are still around, and the elderly and the Royal St. Vincent Legion take care of them through the Royal Commonwealth Ex-Services League.
Okay, we have a question on the WhatsApp. Can children of ex-police join? You think about it?
No, well, as it is right now, you have to be a member
okay.
of the police force, and not only St. Vincent Police Force. Once you're serving member, you bring proof that you serve and you want to live in St. Vincent. Yes, you can be, and auxiliary officers also. Retired.
All right. And Mr. Charles, Mr. David Charles.
I would want to give an advice, because especially to people who are living alone, the elderly who's living alone, you don't try to do 3 or 2 things, 4 things one time. For example, you go to your kitchen, you light your stove, but then during the time the water is boiling, you leave it and go to your bedroom and start making up your bed. It is not very pleasant to do that, because the next thing is that you forget to make up your bed and you go to sleep in another part of the house, and the kettle is still on the fire boiling. So it is very important that you do one thing at a time, complete one thing at a time, because you're not that young as you used to be. As you're getting old and old, your movements and your actions tend to be slowing down. So therefore, you have to slow down to keep your body and your mind in good order. So I like to advise you, do one thing at a time, take your time to do when you're doing things.
Okay.
Very good advice.
Sergeant Lewis, you had a point off air that I think you forgot about setting reminders.
Oh yeah, setting reminders so you can remember to lock up or to do any other things. You could set it on your phone. The phone is so advanced now, you could practically use it for almost anything. If you could have put it for cook one time, you could have set reminders on it, so remind you to lock up.
You might have that soon.
True. All right. Yeah. So setting reminders is important. You can set the alarm and it can go off daily at a particular time to remind you to do certain things. So yes. All right. So, gentlemen.
Gentle ladies.
All right. So we have come to. Go ahead, Dianna.
Brings us to the end of our cup chat. So we didn't receive any calls, but we
One was trying to come in, but at the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. All right, but that brings us to the end of our cup chat here this morning. We were discussing the topic, let me get it right for you, supporting our elders' safety, dignity, and empowerment. And I really do hope that all the advice that was given here this morning has left you empowered or feeling empowered, and that you're going to take it seriously because it is for your own good, for your own safety. Elderly persons listening, please take heed of the advice. If there is anything that you're not sure about, I would advise you to go to the police. If you need to sort something out on your phone right now and you're thinking, but I don't know who to go to, safest thing, go straight to them. Straight to them. They will not turn you away.
Yeah, that was something else that I wanted to say. Okay, so in case there's an elderly person listening, they are living alone, what are some of the numbers that they should have in their phones?
First, 911.
Right.
First thing.
911, 457 1211, 456 1810 at CID. You can call those numbers and you'll get anyone you want. And you can call 911 and they will transfer you to any station you wish. So if you are in any district, just call 911. There's no station in your district and ask them to put you onto that station. Also, if you have a number for a specific officer and you don't have credit, but you wish to get onto that officer, you can call 911 and they will just give them the number of the officer and they will put you on.
And this
And
can
it's
be
also on
extended.
WhatsApp.
Right. And this can be extended to persons who may be having trouble. Something may happen to you on your device. You call 911 and ask to put onto IT. They will be happy to assist where we can.
Okay.
And also 457-1211 is on WhatsApp. So you can also WhatsApp it if you have credit and you have access to Wi-Fi. You WhatsApp the information and that will get you the assistant that you need.
Yes.
All right, some very good advice has been given here this morning. So for the non-elderly, those under 55, please take care of the elderly persons around you, checking on them. They may be a little grumpy at times, but summon some patience for the short space of time that you're going to have to deal with them, just so that you can sort out what needs to be sorted so that they can be safe. All right. And right there, we end with our cup chat for this morning.
See you again next week for another edition of Cup Chat.
99.